So hey guys, it's Ziant again, and first let me thank all of you who came over from Play the Game Central. Welcome, 500 subscribers, woohoo! I'm not doing a milestone video because 500 is kind of, you know, it just happened. But anyway, this is some Nuketown gameplay, and I want to talk about why Nuketown works as a Call of Duty map. Not as a Black Ops 2 map, not as a Black Ops 1 map, but why everybody absolutely loves it, and why, to much of your chagrin I am sure, a lot of you hate it when it comes up in the rotation. But I want to talk about why it actually is one of the most popular maps in Black Ops 2, even if it's not one of the best. And my answer is this: Nuketown defines everything that makes Call of Duty successful. And when I say that, I mean that everything that Nuketown creates in the play experience is what makes Call of Duty work. We all know that Call of Duty has crappy spawns. Nuketown typifies it. We all know that people camp and sit back and camp for kill streaks. Nuketown has that in spades. We all know that people like small, fast-paced maps. I wouldn't call Nuketown fast-paced, I would call it chaotic. And it's this chaotic clusterfuck of a map that people love because Call of Duty is addicting because there's constant action. No other game that, at least in the classic first-person shooter style that we come to know today, has the sheer amount of chaos and unpredictability of Call of Duty. Some of the unpredictability is in fact bullshit and crappy mechanics and bad hit detection and lag, but all of that even comes through in Nuketown because you're always in somebody's face, and if you're unlucky, you are in all 6 enemy players' faces. And in addition, Nuketown is great for getting score, because again, there's always someone to shoot at, and there's always someone shooting at you. So there's always room to get assists, there's always room to get savior points, there's always room to jump on a flag, get defender points, get capture points. There's always time to do stuff. And if you go into a map like Turbine, or go back to Black Ops 1 and play a map like Array, or Modern Warfare 3 if you were one of the unfortunates to have to play that game for a year, you go into a map like Downturn, or any of the other really crappy maps in that game, and there were quite a few. Black Box, ooh, don't get me started on Black Box. All of those maps are slow and uneventful. There's not much you can do in them, there's not much going on, you're always looking for enemies, and when you can find the enemies, they're probably camping in a corner waiting for you, if indeed you are a rusher. Nuketown defies that assumption that there should be some time spent looking for people to fight. Even though there are very, very short lulls in the action, there are times when you just can't find anyone, when you're all the way in the back of the spawn, of your own spawn, and the enemy has finally flipped. But then you go back to a map like Shipment in Call of Duty 4, which is what Nuketown was based on, I think. I think they took the Shipment idea but expanded it for their own purposes. Because in Shipment, there really is always someone to shoot at and someone shooting at you, because in a lot of times, if you're spawn trapped on Shipment, or even playing TDM on Shipment, an enemy is probably looking at you spawning. Treyarch with Nuketown said, alright, how can we make the Shipment formula work, but still make it a little more playable so it's not just a giant, oh, I'm spawning and dying instantaneously. And so they made Nuketown. They gave you some cover to work with, they gave you some camping spots, they gave you some locations where you can chill for just a couple seconds. Now, if you have a VTOL warship in Black Ops 2, or some dogs, or a swarm, or a chopper gunner and dogs in Black Ops 1, then you're gonna be spawning and dying anyway, but at that point, your team is bad enough that was gonna happen regardless of your wishes. And so, like I say, Nuketown took the small map with chaos and constant action that Shipment had, but added a little bit of the slowness of Array and just Treyarch maps in general, at least going back to Black Ops 1 maps. And I think the designers took a page from the Firing Range book, where, again, there should always be a little time where you're just sort of moving around, where it's not just shoot all the time, kill, because that gets tiring. And so I think that's why Nuketown works, and that's why I think people like it, but why I think a lot of players are sick of it is twofold. First of all, we've played Nuketown before. We played it to death in Black Ops 1. You remember if you were on an Xbox, you would play Nuketown for hours because you could just choose this previous map endlessly. But the second reason that Nuketown is old and people hate it now is because it's tiring. Because if you have to play Nuketown twice, and you already played it a number of times earlier that night, you don't want to play it anymore. You want to play, give us anything. Give us Turbine. Give us a chance to catch our breath. But eventually you'll come back to Nuketown, and maybe once or twice every night you might just have a little fun because it's at the core of what makes Call of Duty fun.